Hi guys, for the next notebook sample, we are doing the Princess Style Line. You can see here, there's actually markers where I sewed. That was just kind of me to test out when I sewed up my fit that I was sewing on the right line. In order to do this notebook sample, you're gonna need your 2-dart pattern front bodice and then also the back bodice as well. And when you're finished, you're actually going to have 4 separate pattern pieces. And there'll be no darts because they'll all be sewn together. Your darts are actually going to be kind of secretly hidden in between these pattern pieces that get sewn together, which is kind of neat. Okay, for this notebook sample, you're going to need the front sloper as well as the back sloper. For the front sloper, you can use either the 1-dart front sloper or the 2-dart. I'm using the 2-dart because that's what's illustrated in the book, so I figure that's just easier to follow along. So figure 1, we're going to draw a style line from our mid-shoulder, and it says in line with our back shoulder dart. So first of all, where's our mid-shoulder? Hopefully you know this is our shoulder, so somewhere here in the middle, and they want it to line up with this back dart. So if I put these two together, I can line up my dart right here, and then this should also match up if they're the same size. So they do. So when this guy's sewn, that's where it's gonna go. So that's where they want us to put our style line. They want us to draw that style line all the way to the bust point. Okay. There we are. And then now from the bust point to the dart leg at the waist. So we do have 2 dart points here. We have one at the side seam and one at the waist. They wanted us to draw it to the waist. Okay, the next little bullet point says to cross mark for ease control notches 2 inches above and below our bust point. Okay, so we're on the half scale, so we're gonna cross mark 1 inch instead of 2. So I'm gonna go up here and mark 1 inch. Do my little cross marks, and then I'm gonna go 1 inch below. So ease might be a new term for you. It's something that we learn about in beginning sewing. It's basically a little bit of extra fabric to ensure a better fit over a curve. But when it's sewn together, you don't know there's extra fabric there. It's a nice smooth seam. So we're gonna add a little bit of ease in this pattern later. So maybe we'll have a deeper conversation about ease later. Okay, so now we're gonna draw a slash line from our bust point to the dart point of our side dart. Okay, drawing a slash line. Here's our bust point, straight over to the dart point. Okay, and that's the end of figure 1. Figure 2, we're gonna cross mark 3/4 inch from the bust point. And then that's gonna be a new pivot point, and we're gonna label it X. Okie dokie. So 3/4 inch, again, we're on the half scale. Half of 3/4 is 3/8. So 1/8, 2/8, 3/8 is right here. And we're gonna label this X. Okay, they want us to cut and separate our pattern along the style line. It looks like they only did, oh yes, yeah, they want us to cut both style lines. So imagine we're cutting to but not through this point here, and then we're cutting this separate. Okay, figure 3. Cut the slash line from the bust point and the dart point to, but not through, point X. Oopsies, I cut too far. I was only supposed to cut up to point X. I got a little bit excited in figure 2. So figure 2, you're only supposed to cut this line. Figure 3, you cut up to point X. Close our side dart legs and tape it. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to cut this side if I'm gonna be able to make that our pivot points. There we are, so it's just barely hanging by a thread on X. So that's gonna allow me, okay. Okay, figure 4, retrace our side front panel. So this now gets a new name. He's side front, okay? So because now we have 2 fronts, so we need to distinguish between them. So side front. So we're gonna retrace this guy. I just retraced it. Now they want us to shape our bust curve as shown. Okay, so they kind of want us to blend over this curve. So let's see here. So I kind of did that. It's already pretty smooth. I'm ignoring that little dart. And then they actually want us to go in a little bit right here. So we're shaving off a hair as well. I'm kind of blending it. So this is gonna get thrown away. Oops. Should be connected. Okay, figure 5, we are gonna add additional ease. Okay, so if you're using the 1 dart pattern, more ease is suggested. We're using the 2 dart one, so I actually think we're fine. But in the book, it cuts it and spreads it open. But on our 2 dart one, we already have this extra space, which is gonna provide ease, just a little extra fabric for, just for movement and you know, arguably a better fit. Option 6, to shape our front panel, here it is, we're gonna place our side panel, I guess this guy, so perhaps I'm gonna have to cut him out. We're gonna place him on top of our front panel, matching our waist and our bust points. So, okay, so I'm gonna have to cut this guy out in order to do figure 6. Okay. I'm going to put this on top, face down here, and I want to match my waist and my bust point. So there's that. So there's my waist. And okay, match it up to the bust. And then you see they want us to copy this curve that I made. So I'm going to trace that there. And then we're gonna shave that off. So if you check out our notches, if I line up this notch and I walk my pattern, you can see this notch is a little higher. The book says to adjust our ease control notches on our side front panel when walking it. So we do have the option to possibly lower this down or maybe even put it in the middle. If we lower it, then it's the exact same length, but sometimes we want we opened up that dart and we added a little extra ease, so you might actually want to leave it the way it is, but if it's really far away, you might want to bring it in a little bit. But we do want a little bit of extra ease here. So when we sew it, it's going to be sewn like together like this, but without the gathering because it'll be eased together. Okay, so you might want to write side front right now, and then they're just calling this one front, and you can continue labeling it as well. Place our curve on the shoulder dart leg. Okay. So I guess the end of the leg. There we are. Okay. Shift our shoulder dart point to our style line and redraw our dart legs. So they want this guy right here. They want us to cross mark our dart points. Okay. Figure 8, they want us to cut and separate our pattern pieces. So we actually need, our dart leg should be closed. There's a straight line here. It should be closed. And then this is just empty leftover from the dart. But I should actually probably tape some paper under this one. Because I was supposed to redraw my dart leg. There we are. So my dart leg is redrawn. So see how I redrew my dart leg? Yeah. Okay, great. So now I will take all 4 pattern pieces and label them. Okie dokie. Okay, great. So now I just need to add seam allowance. to sew this seam together, I went ahead and I put in a basting stitch around the curve, and by pulling my basting stitch, it's supposed to bring my easing together a little bit tighter, but we don't want too much because we don't want to get like a pucker or gathering. So I'm just going to gently pull it, see if that's at all helpful without getting puckers. Then I can put this right sides together, and I'm going to line up my notches and go ahead and pin those two first. And I'm going to get the other notches together. Good. And then I can pin the rest as well. Okay. And pin it up here too. And then when I sew it, I just want to make sure I don't get a pucker when I sew it. So it should be okay. Okay, I just took it off of the sewing machine, and I don't believe I have a pucker. I want to go add some steam and give it a press as well, but I just wanted to bring it over and kind of check it out. I mean, you could tell that one side has that little extra ease. But I think when I give it a little steam, it'll smooth it right out.